Welcome to the Digital Brand Builder Podcast, where we bring you the best growth strategies from the world's experts to help build your business fast. And now, here's your host, Mark Fidelman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Brand Builder Podcast. Joining me today is Zeze Peters of Beam.city. And we're going to talk about account-based marketing and how you automate ads to that particular group or that particular type of marketing. We're going to get some clarity when we talk to Zeze in just a second. Before we jump in, though, Zeze, why don't you give us your background in 200 words or less?
Yeah, so I'm Zeze Peters, founder and CEO of Beam.city. My background is in aerospace engineering at Cornell University, but I spent the last 15 years building simple solutions to complex problems affecting applied AI, eCommerce, big data systems, and consumer goods for Fortune 1000 companies and other companies across the US. So that's my background.
Excellent. All right, so let's get into what is account-based marketing and how do you automate ads to them?
All right, yeah. So just to give a little bit of background, account-based marketing is a hot topic and has been a hot topic in the world of marketing for several years.
Yes, it has.
And what we've built is a platform that helps you to automate advertising to multiple ad networks simultaneously. So this has given us a bit of an advantage where we've been able to take the key pieces of account-based marketing and automate advertising to make that work for us. And I'll explain that in a bit more detail. So to us, we're calling this account-based advertising. It is marketing-based, but we're calling it advertising because we're able to qualify or curate the exact customers that we want to talk to for our business. And we're literally running ads, Omni-Channel ads to all the top ad networks that they might be on so that we can reach and have ad-based conversations with these customers to take them through the sales funnel until they're ready to talk to us. And so that means we don't have to deal with email bounce rates and open rates. Impression rates are pretty high, and responses are pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, does that include retargeting? Obviously, it does if you're following through the funnel.
Well, yes, it includes retargeting, but the retargeting is a meta step. It's the step one is using key information like an email address, a company name. On LinkedIn, you can advertise using company names and roles. Outside of LinkedIn, you need email addresses. And so we're able to use email addresses to advertise to those people. And for those who interact, we're able to follow up with retargeting as we see fit.
I assume this is mostly for B2B companies.
This is a fairly B2B SaaS strategy. For consumer side businesses, there are other tactics that work a lot better.
So let's walk through an example of one that comes to mind. So how would I, typically you would just pick one channel or maybe a couple channels and you do it separately. Most B2B companies are, LinkedIn still isn't that great yet. No offense to LinkedIn. I still LinkedIn, but it's, they're still using Facebook. They're still using Google and
yes.
Maybe LinkedIn, maybe YouTube. So your omni-channel, what is different about what your approach is versus what everyone else is doing?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the reasons why people are still mono or duo channel is actually because of how tough it is to create, monitor, and have great results on any one ad channel. Not to talk about doing it for two. If you go make ads on Google right now, and I've talked to people who actually work at Google who tell me this, it's really complicated to create a really great ad campaign. In fact, it takes over about 1,000 actions to create a great campaign, and that's if you know what you're doing. So because of the complexity and difficulty, most people settle in for one or two platforms, and it's hard to beat Google, right? With the world's most famous search engine, and so So that's why people kind of settle in with Google and Facebook, because they get the bang for the buck, and it's too complicated to go learn something else. Why do we go omni-channel? The way we see it, we've been paying attention to all the new platforms coming out. So there's the ones everybody's used to, the Googles, the Facebooks, but it seems like every other quarter there's some new platform that has millions or hundreds of millions of potential customers on there, like TikTok, this Pinterest. Amazon just came out with their ad network that allows you to run phenomenal e-commerce ads. And Walmart is pushing and really ramping up their own ad network as well. So there are a lot of these networks coming out. These are all networks where people show high intent of different types, depending on what they're doing. And for all the businesses out there, you're basically running a losing race, right? You're running a losing race trying to reach your ideal customer. It's tough getting great results anywhere, because one, to set up the campaigns takes you hours. You got to monitor it, takes a lot more hours every day. And frankly, humans are just not made to deal with huge data sets. Like every digital ad campaign generates, 10, 100,000 data points every hour. We're basically stuck looking at averages. And so what our platform helps you to do is it gives you the power to create once and publish everywhere, up to 13 top ad channels. And once the ads have been published, our AI kicks in and helps you to optimize the targeting and scale up your performance automatically. You basically set it and walk away.
Okay, so it's self-optimizing, kind of like what Facebook does, but you're doing it across all channels?
We're doing it across all channels. We're doing it where the knowledge that's gained can be cross-interpolated. So you can learn something on Facebook and apply it into Google and vice versa. And it does a lot of controlling of these platforms themselves so that it's platform agnostic. So think about it like a stunt driver. That's our platform. It's a stunt driver. And all the ad networks to us are high-performance cars.
Okay, and that's because they're sharing information.
They're sharing information. All the knowledge is in the driver, and the driver controls and basically drives the performance.
Okay, so it's like a reverse pixel then? The pixels on your site, you're looking at how ads and people are responding.
No, we have direct API integrations into Google or Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter. All the ad networks that we control using our AI, we have direct API access to, so that our clients give us access to their accounts using OAuth, and our AI uses APIs to publish and control the ads everywhere. And
so who I don't know if you can name any of your clients, but who's been successful with this, and why isn't everyone using it?
Yeah, so we've got quite a few successful clients with our platform. We have consumer goods companies like Danby Appliances. We have Carbine Tools. They are a company based out in Seattle, Washington, and they sell high performance tools for changing oil and for wrenches and just DIY work. And we've helped restaurants all across the country. We've helped health companies. So our platform is pretty agnostic. And why isn't everybody using something like this? It's because if you take a look at the businesses in the advertising automation space, a lot of those tools are just really, I'll call it brick wall, really tough to kind of get into. You open up the dashboard and there's way too many bells and whistles for even the top, expert marketers to kind of grok. There's just too much to chew on. So a lot of people feel overwhelmed just starting it. And for those who are able to go over the learning curve, then they feel locked in. They're really good at this one platform, but they may not be able to easily transition and do something else. So this is fairly new in the sense that our platform makes it super easy. In fact, we make it so easy that what takes hours typically takes minutes on our platform, because the AI just does so much to move you along the process faster, so you don't waste time doing mundane tasks.
Okay. So is there anything that you'd recommend that people do when using your platform that's kind of like a hack or something that improved? What have you seen that's improved the results either?
Oh man, we've there are a couple of key ways people are able to improve results. So one of the key things about how our platform Beam.city DNA works is that it has powerful 24/7 AI-driven advertising optimization. So that means that every 10 to 15 minutes, it looks at the newest data from all the ad channels, from all the campaigns you're running, and it actively makes decisions for you. So it figures out what to shut down and what to boost and where to make your dollars go so that you're not wasting ad dollars. And so we've had clients bring in their existing quote unquote good campaigns. No tweaks in the platform is giving them basically multiplying their ROI by boosting the number of click-throughs, cutting the ad costs, and reducing the time that their teams are spending creating and monitoring these campaigns. So when you put that all together, you're talking about 6 times better, up to 100 times better in a matter of days. And that's because the AI does so much to kind of free you up to be creative and really strategic with your marketing campaigns.
And separately, do you have one of the channels that performs better than all the rest? Is it still Facebook is king, or what is it that you're seeing?
I never thought Facebook was king.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is a great platform for all sorts of advertising, but for high intent, Google wins all day. Google search wins all day. And but in terms of data, a lot of our clients who use Facebook are looking to really engage with the right customers, so Facebook does frequently win, but anybody who's been advertising on Facebook knows that typically, your click rates can be kind of tricky, and you have to be really careful which interests you choose, otherwise your costs kind of go haywire. It's hard to know which interests are going to cost you little and which ones are going to cost you a lot. So our platform actually allows you to very, very quickly discern what's working. So we've got the ability to give you way deeper insights than you'd get by default out of Facebook. So when you run a campaign on Facebook, but directly, you go in and you choose your 20, 30 interest groups or behaviors. This is, earlier in the funnel. And by the time you get the stats back, is really high level stuff like, for the entire campaign, these are the different age groups. At the top level, these are the different devices and so on. But on our platform, Beam.city DNA, we're able to give you really deep insights down to the level of men between the ages of 30 to 40 who love, let's say, the Lakers and use iPhones in Cincinnati are really into your brand, right? And that level of specificity and detail is something you don't get by default out of Facebook and or frankly most other channels with that full intersectionality. And so it allows you to really learn who cares about what you're doing. And then the system gives you the power to find more people just like that by expanding all the different parts of that segmentation. So Facebook, isn't necessarily always king. It depends on what you're doing, but we allow you to get the best out of Facebook if that's what you're trying to do.
Well, I always look for the best channel, but I find, it's so frustrating because, LinkedIn should be the best with B2B, but it's not.
It can be, right? It really just, it depends on who you target and when. I find that a lot of people have LinkedIn accounts, but a good chunk of them are not on LinkedIn with frequency. So, and then I know personally, I'm really good at ignoring LinkedIn content, but the content that I really engage with is basically podcasts and people just kind of posting. I really engage with that stuff. I don't know this. I've got this. I run an ad automation company, but I personally, I mentally filter ads in my feeds unless it's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I agree with you on LinkedIn. I'm not watching the feed as much as I should. Occasionally I do when somebody tags me, but it's not like Facebook where you're scrolling. It always seems to be.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably spending a couple of hours a day or a week on Facebook versus LinkedIn anyway, right?
I hope not that much time, but Zeze.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know a lot of people that do. It can be addicting. Facebook has made it addicting.
Yeah, I gotta stay off Facebook.
We should connect on it because I'm pretty active on it, but only in the morning and late at night. That's it.
That's the entrepreneur's hours, right?
That's right. You got it.
That's right.
Is there anything else we should know about omni-channel social ads that you can let us know about?
Yeah. So what we found, these are some interesting things that I didn't expect to kind of learn up front. But what we found with our platform and with the different kinds of companies we've been helping is that, well, let me kind of reframe this.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that split testing is one of the best ways for you to figure out the best copy, the best content for your customers or for your clients to interact with, right? So you don't just kind of stick all your eggs in one basket with one piece of copy and one image and kind of hope it works out. It's just like you said on Instagram, you can't just have one commercial. You have to have a series, have a conversation with the customer. But what we found is when people do split tests and they're able to go into these much deeper levels of insights, frequently the split tests don't tell you just, that this piece of content is better than the other. It might actually tell you something to the order of each piece of content has a different group that likes it. And that's kind of different mentality than what I see a lot of marketers do, where the goal of the split test is to see the marginal benefit of one piece of content over the next, when in reality, you could probably run both at scale and just target them to the people who care about each one and get the best results overall, right? To me, that's ad personalization for the interests and for the behaviors or the people who really are better attracted, who have a higher affinity to each piece of content. So I'll give a really brief example. We've had a split test done where a business wanted to try 3 different images, right? One of it was a device in a kitchen, was one image. Another one was the same device in the bedroom, and the same device in the living room, right next to the TV. So kitchen, living room, bedroom. And what they found was each image had a specific demographic and interest group that really, really resonated with it, right? Different age groups, like the people who love the device in the bedroom tended to be younger people, between the ages of like 18 and 24, people who are in college or just getting out of college, get their first apartment before they're looking to own the whole condo kind of situation. Then the people who really loved it in the kitchen tended to be, middle-aged or younger, millennial, 30 to 42-year-olds or 45-year-olds. They probably have a house and a family and probably have a kitchen that they spend a lot of time in. Then for the device in the bedroom, in the living room, it tended to be older people, like 55, 60 plus. These 3 groups were all valid customer sets that this customer wanted to sell to. But when they ran the split test, they weren't expecting to learn that they could advertise to all 3 with high impact with 3 different pieces of content. But they found that out because the platform was able to give them those insights automatically. So, for me, that was a little surprising. A lot of marketers do split testing for marginal benefit. Marginal gains testing is perhaps the right way to say it. But it turns out that sometimes it's a massive gain when you, instead of trying to choose just one to spend all your dollars on, you split the dollars 3 ways and have the dollars go and have the content go to the people who have the highest affinity for it.
Okay. I want to wrap things up, but the first thing I want to talk about is how people can get a hold of you. If they want to book time with you to talk about more of what you've discussed with me today, they can go to calendly.com/Zeze, Z-E-Z-E -Beam.city /combo. That'll be in the show notes as well. But how can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, just like you mentioned with the Calendly, that is calendly.com/ZEZE-BEAMCITY/CONVO. You could also find me on LinkedIn. That's linkedin.com/IN/ZEZEWO. That's, I'm on LinkedIn every single day. The app is on all the time. You can find us on Twitter. That's Beam.city Inc., BEAMCITYINC. We're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram. So just search Beam.city Inc. But of course, send me an email, zeze@beam.city. Hopefully you don't overwhelm my inbox and then I have to find a new inbox, but I'm really responsive to people who want to chat. And obviously it's best to book an actual time on my Calendly so you can get a 30-minute slot and we can talk about whatever it is. I'm really open to marketers, learning from people, sharing some of the knowledge that we have gained, sharing some data that we have gained, and talking about the future of retail, the future of e-commerce, and frankly, the future of AI in marketing.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to wrap things up. Really appreciate your time. And Zeze, good luck with everything. Good luck with LinkedIn.
Yeah, don't worry. We're crushing on LinkedIn. I can give you some hints whenever you're ready to do so too.
Excellent. Thank you.